4. Yes. Alright, Banner 4 is... a lot of people are down on this, and I understand why. That's a horrible way to start out talking about the banner. I should stay neutral. So I'm going to stay neutral. 5, 6 stars, 2 ASBs. The last banner had 2 ASBs on it as well, but it just goes so far... goes to show what I think of Noctis. Damn, it sucks that non-elementals as bad as it is. Anyway, Tidus ASB. Tidus is the most disgusting single elemental character in the entire game. For now, I think he's got competition when the Final Fantasy VII event comes around. Because I think Sephiroth might get there. Might get to Tidus tier. But anyway, we're talking about Tidus right now. It's not an elemental sword, which stinks. 20 single target and 1 single target overflow. Cool. It's an ASB on a just a ridiculously powerful character, so that's an awesome pickup. Squall ASB is a plus ice sword. Awesome. Squall is a very, very powerful ice character, so his 3 single target overflow ASB, obviously really good. So, this banner's off to a roaring start. Riku chain. Now this is weird. Riku is the holder of the Generation 2 water chain. 150% max water chain and 50% water damage field effect and 50% attack. Riku does have a bit of a problem, where she doesn't have anything good at all. She will cast naked sapphire shots with no legend materia to help them out. Not even an LMR. She does get an LMR 2 or 2 in the next Final Fantasy X event that gives allows her to start the battle with quick cast 3. That helps. But she's a very low damage and can't really do a heck of a lot character after and before using the chain. She can dance, but that's not useful in an elemental arena because that's not useful in Magicites. She's a bard, so that's good on mage teams, but her chain gives plus 50% attack. That's weird. Riku stinks. Riku stinks, but she has a chain, so she's automatically going to be good and obviously worth having. But because of how bad and how bad of a user or a chain user I think she is, I think count yourself lucky that if you've gotten Tidus's chain off of one of the million times that it's shown up. Can Riku entrust battery? No, she can't. She doesn't have support. Her support is debuffing only through Dancer. Her LM2, by the way, is what? Chance to quick cast? No. I always get her LMR and her LM2 mixed up because they stink. Increases duration of stat buffs by 40%. Wow. And I think this is why people are down on this banner. Because it has Riku's chain on it. And she's not really great on the chain. And a lot of people, because of how many good banners and how many banners it's been on, just The sheer amount is kind of staggering. The Tidus chain on obviously one of the best water character in the game is just so much better. So much better than this. And if you don't have Tidus's chain, whew, I'm sorry. Because I don't know if we're going to see it again. So she has support 3. She can blind attack. She can't use those super strong busters though. Oh, wait a second. The busters are 3-star, right? The busters are 3-star. It's the machinist abilities that are 4-star. My bad. She can use those, by the way. She's a machinist. Riku will actually get a lot better the day that we get a water machinist ability. But that is... who knows when that's coming. Alright, so I'm pretty down on this, as you can tell. It is a chain, so if you don't have a water chain, this is a good thing to have. Don't get so down that you feel like you need to avoid it. Having Riku's chain is better than not having a chain at all. Because just having Riku and Tidus on the party is probably enough to just win. Because Tidus can make up for the fact that Riku's almost an empty party slot. Next up we have Snow's chain, which is probably part 2 of why people are not that high on this banner, because, well, unlike Riku and the water chain, the Generation 2 physical ice chain is not bad. And Snow only has an Ice Monk ability to use, a 5-star Ice Monk ability. It's not that strong. It's not strong at all, actually. It has a low multiplier and a kind of a pitiful increased crit modifier, which doesn't make up for its low multiplier at all. So Snow's actually a pretty low damage character. Snow's chain has been good for Tiamat. It will be good in the future. If you have Snow's USB, because that's stacking the Ice Radiant chain plus a chain on the same character. So that's super value. So that's good. That's actually something I want to carry into 5-star. But the thing is, and I've already talked about the banner already, like Alan is mentioning in chat right now, is that Laguna's Generation 2 chain, Snow does get a really good LMR, but that's pretty far into the future as well. Though it does become, or does launch before the Wind Magicite. Is the Generation 2 chain for Ice is really powerful. It debuts on that Cypher banner. But it is also on that monstrously powerful Renoa banner. With Renoa's ASB, USB 3, Quistis USB, Laguna, and Squall. Laguna makes such a good chain user because he's a 35% chance to dual cast as his LM2. He's a machinist, so even if he doesn't dual cast, he hits 6 times. If he does dual cast, he hits 12 times. Pretty nice for a chain user. Yeah, he's just... kind of reduces the amount of, need for the guy's chain from Snow quite a bit, since Laguna's chain just appears on such an easily pullable banner for a lot of people. But if you do need stuff for Tiamat, see that, and that's probably where I'm going to go with this banner, is Riku and Snow would be good right now if you need them for 4-star Magicites. And unlike the previous 3 banners, I don't even want to... because Noctis is Noctis's ASB is probably less desirable than Riku's chain. So I don't want to dish on these too hard. This banner confuses me more than any other banner in the festival. Because it has 2 protagonist ASBs on it. And that's worth more than just 2 6-star slots. That is incredibly powerful. So it does make up for this, but at the same time it turns into a more risky banner than the others. Because you're pulling for less relics, even if those relics are as powerful as they are. Skillet, what are you doing? Skillet's in attack mode. And she has her... She's claimed my mouse. I'm going to have to remove you. Yeah, I've got to get on with this, so I need to remove you. Sorry, Skillet. Oh no. Did you guys hear that? The mic picked that up. Alright, back to the banner. So Tidus ASB, Squall ASB is here. Tidus USB is here, which is actually a really good thing to pair up with Riku. Is it? I mean, yeah. Having Tidus have the ability to 6-hit chase and dual cast means that he's going to benefit from having a chain very, very much. So, maybe that's why Riku sucks so bad. Is because Tidus is way too powerful. Yeah, she didn't. She didn't. So, Tidus USB is a huge win, and is also plus water blitzball, which, you know, people have ridiculed, but it's, who cares? Tidus and Riku can both use blitzballs, so that's a plus water weapon that's usable on 2 really potent water characters. I hate calling Riku a potent character. Whew. She's not the worst, but she's about as good as Snow is at using his 5-star ice ability. Okay, 2 glints, one for each of the ASB characters. Tidus being able to use a glint is actually pretty cool, because he's a chain user, so him being able to glint before chaining is pretty powerful. Even when not using chain, if he's using his USB, and water stacking, it really, really benefits ability usage, which chases are. Squall's glint is a little weird. It's plus ice armor, so it's going to be good regardless, but it's not really meant to be used. Well, all he has is his ASB here, but his BSB here is here too, and his glint doesn't really work with his BSB well, because what glints do is increase the damage of your hits, but Squall's BSB 2 at max has a super high multiplier and a high chance to crit anyway, so the probability of you capping with those attacks, especially if you have a chain active, is very high. So him having a glint active doesn't really do a whole lot. Squall's glint will be more useful later when we have access to his USB 2, because his USB 2 has a very large chase, many attacks, low potency attacks, which is the ideal situation for a glint to thrive in. But it's ice armor, so even if it's not useful here, it's good to have, and it's good to have ice armor, so hey. So the real question is, we know Tidus is a key for Phoenix. Is there better waterbender in the future for Tidus alone? Nope, not there. That banner sucks. Tidus B Brave mode. God, that's it. And his Glint. And his BSB2 and his LMR. Alright. Fair, fair. Thank you. Better have an email from YouTube right now. Yeah, it sounds like it's going to do 70,000 damage, just like having one in an element stack. It does. Yeah, I would have to say no on the Tidus thing. Tidus Brave mode is here, but who cares? I'll take Tidus ASB and his USB 1 over this banner. So both the Glints are good pickups. Squall BSB2 is obviously a good pickup if you don't have it. I talked about it already. You charge it with Command 1, then you use Command 2 as many times as you can, and deal a hell of a lot of damage, spread over 7 attacks. And that's why it's so powerful. It's because it's not bound by the weak, mortal 4-hit or 5-hit attacks. You can do 70k a turn, or 140k if you dual cast. Kind of nice. Bart's BSB2 is like a USB. It's instantaneous, and it grants a charge of instant cast. So Tidus just does everything really quickly. The commands don't mean shit, but... Thanks, everybody. How good is Kamari's USB with Water Chain? Extremely good. It could be better. Kamari doesn't have a whole lot to do after using his USB. Unless you have his bursts, in which case he can life siphon up to it. He does have a good Super Soul Break, though, which does non-elemental damage, and Magic Blinks the party, so he does have things he can do, even if they're low value. But the thing is, his USB is going to have enough passive damage to make Kamari a worthwhile party member, even in 5-star Magicite. As long as you have the chain to go with it. You don't have the chain, considerably less good. Okay, Burst Soul Breaks. 4 Burst Soul Breaks, but 2 of them are amazing Burst Soul Breaks. They're basically USBs. The other 2, less so. But Snow's Burst Soul Break has the benefit of being a rare armor type, and plus Ice Light Armor, so that's good. So I don't care what everything else does. It does give him the ability to use Last Stand if you've got the excess Soul Break points on Snow and you need something to use it on, so that's okay. Riku BSB gives her N Water, so she can deal 16,000 damage a turn with her Sapphire shots instead of 8,000. It's cool. It's cool. I know I'm exaggerating on those multipliers, but... Ugh, man. Riku. So, you know, I actually like 3 of the bursts out of the 4. Squall, Tidus, and Snow. They're all nice pickups. I personally have dupes of these, and they're not good dupes at all. So, that stinks. Taking those 2 off the table, they're like USB tier. LMR section, Squall starting out with an ice is really good because he has access to a 6-star ability, though that's becoming not as uncommon as it used to be. Tidus is just a water bracer. Him starting out with MR is kind of gross because he has a chain. What else? Oh, his BSB2 is insane with N water. So this is good from multiple angles. And Riku LMR, 35% chance to quick cast 1 to the user after using a machinist ability. Folks, we have reached the worst relic in the festival so far. I like Snow's Burstle Break 1 better, Tenor Tube. 2 is good for different reasons. It's a buffer. But 1 is good for more reasons. Plus, it's ice armor. Yeah, Riku's LMR. Chance to grant quick cast 1 after using a machinist ability. She's a water character. That's what she does. She doesn't use machinist abilities. This is a dead draw. It may become useful more than 6 months from now. But when it comes to Riku, I just don't think so. So how do I feel about the banner? Honestly, it's really good. It is. I think a lot of people's beef with it is these are common dupes. Tidus BSB2 and Squall BSB2 have shown up a lot of times. And if you take away, if when you're looking at this banner, these don't appear, like you just brush over them because they're bursts and they're dupes. Yeah, I can see that the banner loses a lot of its power. But if you combine two extremely strong protagonist ASB with 2 okay chains, they're the inferior chains of their elements. A very strong USB for the best water damage dealer in the game. 2 good Glints, 2 USB tier BSBs, and 2 good LMR. This is all Squall and Tidus, you know. This is actually a really good banner. The problem is 3 things. Tidus chain is common. Squall BSB2 is common. Tidus BSB2 is common. And that's where you're going to hear a lot of underhype. Dehype of the banner, because people are going to look at the banner and they're going to block out some of the strongest parts of it, which would be the water chain and Squall's BSB2 and Tidus's BSB2. If you don't have these things, it's actually a really good banner. Because I have Squall's BSB2, I have Tidus's BSB2, I have Tidus's chain, and I'm still somewhere within the realm of possibility thinking about pulling on this banner because of these, and that there is value elsewhere. If I could find value in Riku's chain and here, I think it would be an easy pull. So don't buy into the dehype. Don't think that, oh, I like this banner, but everyone hates it, so I must, there's something must be wrong with the way I'm thinking. Don't. This banner is going to look very, very different to different people. All right, I'm done. I do not know when the 8 relic draw will be. I wish I could use Japan as an example, but Japan had theirs on, and specifically on New Year's, which we obviously don't have. So it's not locked to any date for us. There's a nice outside possibility that you could say, since we do have a holiday in July 4th, that it could be on July 4th, but that's only a United States holiday, and global is global, you know. So I don't know, can't say, don't know. That's a pretty good reason not to pull here. Even though I think I have all of those things. I have all of those things and I'm thinking about it. But I probably won't. It's going to break my heart leaving these two behind, because I know they don't appear anywhere else that I want to pull on, if at all. It's going to break my heart. But I can't overcommit for them. All right. I'll highlight and move on. If I have Squall's BSB2 and Tidus's BSB2, would I recommend to pull on this one? If that's all you have on the banner, if you don't have a water chain, if you don't have an ice chain, it's probably a pretty good pull. I suppose it depends on your status in how well you do on Malorus and Tiamat. Because maybe it makes sense for you to put something like the